I get asked a lot by business owners, what is the secret to success? And one of the most important aspects I always tell people is to ensure that you have set a goal that is relevant to you and that you're always working towards this. Goal setting is one of the most important things that you can do for your business life as well as your personal life. But a lot of people just don't know how to go about this. We are not looking to set just any goals, we are looking at effective goals. Today, we're going to run through why goal setting is so important and how to set effective goals that will help you achieve your dreams and help you along your journey, with the final destination being the wealth creation station. I recently helped a business owner called Dave running the manufacturing business. When I first met Dave, he was feeling totally lost. He'd been running his business for a few years now, but things just weren't going as well as he had hoped. We soon realised that Dave had no end goal in sight, or even any real thought of why he was working 12 hours a day, each day, every day in his business. In order to grow his company, I asked Dave to get some concrete goals in mind and to figure out exactly what he was working towards. So Dave went away, sat down at his desk and started brainstorming. He soon came back to me and told me that his goal was that he wanted to make more money. Sorry Dave, that wasn't specific enough. I'm pretty sure that's something that we all want. He then said he wanted to be able to provide for his family. And sorry again Dave, but that again isn't still specific enough. Try to get a goal in mind specific to you. This is the ultimate overarching goal. If you can imagine yourself in 5 years' time, what would an ideal version of Dave look like? After thinking for a while, he finally came up with something. He told me he wanted to be able to retire early and spend more time with his family. That was a great start, but we knew that he needed to flesh it out a bit more. How much money did he need to save in order to retire comfortably? What kind of lifestyle did he want when he retired? These were tough questions, but Dave was determined to find the answers. And Dave did manage to flesh this out. And now, off the back of this, with the plan in place and a specific end goal in mind, Dave is now motivated like never before. He jumped on board the business growth journey to the wealth creation station, wanting to learn how to get out of this employee mindset and start running his business like the entrepreneur that I know he is. And check out this video linked above to get started on your own journey. By setting an end goal, it gives us purpose for what we are doing in our business and gives us something to strive towards. You may think that Dave set an unachievable goal in an unachievable time frame, but this certainly is not the case. Once we have a main goal we are working towards, we can then break this down into micro goals, which are small achievable milestones that work hand in hand together with each other to get us to the overarching main goal. In my business, I always set a goal of a 10 million valuation in 5 years. So now I know what I want to achieve, my goal, I can work out what turnover, margin, profit, etc. I need to hit in order to get there, as well as set my business strategy to grow accordingly to work with this. I've previously helped grow a company from 12 million to 150 million, so I know that this is achievable and can be done pretty easily. The start of this adventure is getting that end goal in mind, the overarching goal. And just remember, don't forget to hit the like subscribe button to this channel to learn the tools and strategies that's going to help grow your business. We are now going to run through some useful goal setting frameworks that you can work from in order to help set your own overarching goal and related micro goals. I always refer to each of these frameworks when setting my business strategies, as they help to define the various goals that I'm looking to achieve, as well as give a bit of structure around how I should approach the goal setting task. And this will cover SMART goals, OKRs, 4DX and BHAG. SMART goals. One of the best known goal setting frameworks, the SMART structure, helps ensure your business objectives are specific, measurable, actionable, relevant and time bound. Let's look at what each of these headings mean in a bit more detail. Specific. Make sure the goal is clear and detailed. This way, as your strategies are unfolding and you're working towards this goal, you are completely aware of why it's important, what you're trying to achieve, and the steps necessary to get there. Measurable. You need to be able to evaluate the progress that you're making towards achieving your goal. This is why it is best to ensure your goals have enough detail and data to enable regular tracking of progress, which can help keep you motivated. Actionable. Ask yourself, how will these goals be achieved? Have an action plan and work out the resources and the skill sets required to achieve success. Also ask, what is currently missing? Well-designed goals provide clarity of action and can then be broken down into manageable micro goals. Relevance. Why is it so important for you to achieve this goal? What significance does it hold for you? And how does it relate to your core values and beliefs? And time bound. Putting time as a main focus of your goal setting. For example, by establishing a clear final deadline or clarifying what milestones you want to achieve at particular points in the future. And this creates structure for your goals and gives a time frame to reduce the risk of this goal just drifting on with no endpoint in sight. Now let's look at the next framework, OKRs. OKRs stands for Objectives and Key Results. Many businesses have been motivated to introduce OKRs after seeing the outcomes this approach has helped to deliver at hugely successful companies like Google. The fundamental idea behind the OKR approach is that setting ambitious, challenging goals can make a valuable contribution to employee motivation and engagement. This is a simple yet powerful way to keep everyone aligned and focused on the most important things. By setting measurable objectives and key results, you can track progress and ensure that everyone is working towards the same goals. The objective part of OKR looks at what you want to achieve, whilst the key results part measures how well you're doing. For example, let's say your objective is to increase sales by 20%. Your key results could be things like increasing website traffic by 10%, converting 5% of visitors into customers, and so on. So the key results part relates to the data and metrics you use to measure progress and show how people are performing and developing. And strangely, something to bear in mind is that should an employee be regularly attaining these high scores and fully achieving their objectives, it's possible that their target isn't ambitious enough and they aren't being challenged. To be successful with OKRs, it's important to set realistic and achievable goals. If your objective is too ambitious, you're likely to get discouraged when you don't hit your targets. On the other hand, if your objective is too modest, you won't be pushing yourself enough to achieve great results. 4DX. 4DX refers to the 4 disciplines of execution, which is what this book here is all about. And this book is based around the idea that execution of business processes and strategy often fails because of issues like managers and teams not knowing their goals, not having a plan to achieve them, or not measuring progress towards accomplishment. In an effort to address these problems, 4DX recommends focusing on wildly important goals. This involves narrowing your focus and concentrating on the objectives that are fundamental to your success as a business. Acting on 80-20 measures. I love the 80-20 rule, and this is something I gain most productivity in my working and personal life when I take this approach. The 4DX approach is partly based on the idea that 20% of the activities produce 80% of the result. And these processes should be identified, codified into individual actions and tracked fanatically. Keeping a compelling scoreboard. Measuring performance and results in a positive, motivational way can deliver clear results in terms of team motivation and productivity. Creating a cadence of accountability. Teams and their members should stick to a system that provides regular opportunities to recognise success, analyse failures, and make changes where they're required. The culture of accountability should be positive and self-directed. Another framework now is BHAG. BHAG is quite straightforward, and it stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goals, referring to grand, ambitious objectives that might seem unrealistic in the short term, but provides a valuable sense of inspiration and emotional drive to take the business forward. The term Big, Hairy, Audacious Goals, introduced by Jim Collins and Jerry Porras in this book, generally describes long-term plans linked to the core values and principles at the heart of your business. There's a strong argument to be made that companies that have transformed their industries, and in many cases the entire world, would never have reached such a level of success had it not been for their ambitious goal setting. Microsoft and Nike are some examples of big businesses that have been driven by these big, hairy goals. Like Amazon, every book ever printed in any language, all available in less than 60 seconds. Microsoft puts a computer on every desk in every home. And I just love Nike's, which was simply crush Adidas. Now we are armed with the tools to get our goal in place, start to think about what it is you want to achieve in your own business. And as the great Gandalf once said, the impossible often takes a little longer than the time we originally allow for it. And that certainly rings true when it comes to goal setting. It's important to set an overarching goal for your business, so start to think now what that looks like. What do you want to achieve? What are your long-term aspirations? Once you have a good idea of what you want, you can start to break these goals down into smaller, more achievable micro goals. And now with your goals set, it's important to take action on them. Otherwise, they'll just stay as dreams in your head. So make sure you put in the effort and make things happen. There's no use in having goals if you're not going to do anything about them. Setting goals can be a daunting task, but it doesn't have to be a maze of confusion. It may feel overwhelming and exhausting, leaving us unsure of where to even start. The key to success is to prioritise what is important to you and break this overarching goal down into micro goals, manageable chunks, which will help improve our chances of success. Prioritising these micro goals helps us focus on what's important to you, whilst also taking into account your own abilities and limitations. This means taking the time to regularly figure out what you want and letting go of any outside pressures or expectations. These micro goals not only make the overarching goal easier to tackle, but it also allows us to track our progress along the way and adjust accordingly. You'll make your journey to the final destination of the wealth creation station easier and more attainable and also keep yourself motivated as you check off each micro goal along the way. But no matter how carefully we plan, simply setting a goal is not enough. We must take action in order to see results. It's easy to get caught up in planning and setting goals, but the real work comes from actually going out there and making it happen. So don't just sit back and dream about your desired outcome. Go after it with determination and perseverance. Prioritising, splitting down into milestones, and taking action are crucial components in effectively setting and achieving your business and personal goals. And by the way, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to this channel. And if you enjoyed this video, then check out this video here, which will give you the framework to start working on growing your business. And with your goal in mind from today's video, you can now watch this other video and start taking action to create wealth for yourself and your family. Next video.